Hey guys, what's up? Dr. W here with my third part in this Let's Rank Eminem's album series. I want to apologize for this being a bit later than I initially said it was going to be, but life happens. But anyways, here it is, and I'm going to record part 4, the final part, right after this, so expect that a couple days later. And then I'm going to put the whole conversation up as one long video, so if you're crazy and want to listen to all that, be sure to check back by the end of the week for that one as well. And let's hop on into it. So this time we're going to talk about his fourth and his third best album, according to me. And remember, these are his 10 solo studio albums from Slim Shady LP through his latest Music to Be Murdered By. And how we're doing it is each song on the album, not counting intros, outros, or like any skits or anything like that, is going to get a score of a 0, meaning it's not on my Eminem playlist, a 1, meaning it is on my playlist, but I would probably skip it half the time, and a 2, meaning it's on my playlist and I would listen to it the majority of the time. Then the average of all those songs together will give the album a rating, and that rating is how we're going to rank them. So, just so everybody's caught up, if you didn't watch part 1 or part 2, which I'm going to put in the card section up here on the right, if you want the quick, TLDR, number 10 was Revival with 47. Number 9 was Encore with a 79. Number 8 was Marshall Mathers LP2 with an 80. Number 7 was Relapse with an 81. Number 6 was the Slim Shady LP with an 82 with a possible 28 points. And at number 5 was Music to Be Murdered By with an 82 with a possible 34 points. Now, like I said in my last video, I only think there's really one bad Eminem album, and that's Revival. The next 5, from Encore through Music to Be Murdered By, I think are good. Maybe it's because Encore was the first Eminem album I heard when I was like 8, when it came out, and introduced me to this music. Maybe that's why I like it more than some people, but I really think Encore, Marshall Mathers LP2, Relapse, Slim Shady LP, and Music to Be Murdered By are good albums. And now, 4, 3, 2, and 1, the next 4 I'm going to talk about, I think are great Eminem albums. And I think 2 of those are going to be controversial. And both of those are the ones we're going to talk about right now. So let's hop on into this. At number 4, we have 2010's Recovery. So, let's get on into it. The first song on the album is Cold Wind Blows. I love Cold Wind Blows. It's a great Eminem song. It's got, the anger. It's got some of his best verses on there, from his post, addiction days on Cold Wind Blows. It has that great line about, you mentioned me in the song, look out, turn out for Mariah. I love that line. I think that's funny. The last verse is great. I gave Cold Wind Blows a 2. Next up is Talking to Myself, featuring Kobe. I think it's on the verse. Not the basketball player, rest in peace, but the singer. Never heard of him outside of this, so whatever. But Talking to Myself, I really like it. It's another introspective song. It's not like too deep in M's feels, but I feel like it's a great song, and I also gave it a 2. Next up is On Fire. I like the song. I think it's funny. The hook is a little iffy, but it does say, I just put a bullshit hook in between 2 long-ass verses. So it kind of makes up for that in a way, I guess. I don't know how many times you get away with that, but at least on this song it works. So I gave it a 2. Next up, we have a pair of songs that I don't like that much. Won't Back Down, featuring Pink, which is a song Eminem constantly performs in concert, which I don't know why, because I think it's a little... The chorus might be the worst part of it, but I don't like the song that much. It's not really talking about much, flows a bit iffy for me, so I gave it a 1. Next up is White Trash Party, maybe the worst song on the album, debatably. I don't even know. You know what? I'm going to take that back. It is the worst song on the album. White Trash Party is the worst song on the album. But, you might listen to it from time to time. It's on my playlist, so I gave it a 1 as well. Next up is Going Through Changes. I really like this song. I like the Ozzy Osbourne song as well that the chorus is sampled from. It's really meaningful. It's, gets me emotional. I can relate to it a lot. I really like that one, so I gave it a 2. Next was Not Afraid. I think this is an obvious 2. It's one of his best songs. It's meaningful. I don't know. I just really enjoy it. Next up is Seduction. This one I'm a little iffy on. I gave it a 1, and I don't know why I'm iffy on it. Maybe it's just like, it's a bit weird for me. I don't know why. I can't really place my finger on it. Maybe it's the chorus and like what he's talking about. It just seems, I don't know. I can't really get behind it most of the time, so I gave it a 1. Next up is No Love, featuring Lil Wayne. This is an awesome song. One of Eminem's best performances. One of Lil Wayne's best performances. He just did an interview where he's talking about this song. The interview's for his new album, Funeral, which is whatever. I don't know really. I don't know if I like it yet. But that's for another Let's Rank series. But this is one of Lil Wayne's best verses, and he's talked about how he couldn't let Eminem body him, so it brought a lot out in him. And I think Wayne, performing at that level, brought Eminem to perform at such a high level, so No Love gets a 2. Next up is Spacebound. This is an Eminem love, relationship type song that he can do too many of on an album. And while this is probably one of the better ones he has, I still gave it a 1 because I feel like, I don't know, it's not one I'm going to listen to that often. Next up is Cinderella Man, which is one of my least favorite on the album. Probably my second least favorite after White Trash Party. I don't know, I just think like the verses get cut too much by the, Cinderella Man repeat, where he's repeating that, and it just doesn't feel like the song ever gets off the ground for me. So I gave it a 1. Next up is 25 to Life. I really like this song. It's one of those where he's kind of talking about his relationship, but in the end it turns out to be he's talking about rap. And it's a really well done version of that. And I really enjoy it. So it gets a 2. Next up is So Bad, which I think is like the better version of Seduction. I gave So Bad a 2. And I think it's more in your face type, braggadocious. It's better than Seduction, I think, and I like it more, so I gave it a 2. Next up is Almost Famous. I gave Almost Famous a 2. It could be close to getting a 1, I guess, but I kind of like Eminem's flow on it, and his, what he's saying is kind of closer to Relapse era, what Em's saying on it, I feel, so I gave it a 2. Next up is Love the Way You Lie, featuring Rihanna, although it is probably played out by this point. It's a great song, and I don't think anyone can deny that it's a great song, and it definitely deserves a 2. Next up is You're Never Over, which is about Proof. And while I love this song, it's meaningful, and I gave it a 2. It is not as good as what's the song? What's the unreleased song he has? Difficult. That's the name of the song. Difficult. It's not as good as the unreleased song Difficult. They ask me am I okay, they ask me am I happy. That, it starts off like that, as difficult as it sounds, and then like you can tell it's unfinished because there's no chorus in the thing. You can find it on SoundCloud. It's way better than You're Never Over, and I really wish he had finished that and put it on the album, but You're Never Over still gets a 2 for me. Next up is Untitled. Again, like it's shaky if it's a good song. Like if it's not one of the worst songs on the album, It's a bunch of nothing. He's not really saying much. He says it well enough, I guess, to earn a 1, and I'll listen to it from time to time. Next up is Riders, which I like it enough to give it a 2, though I could see how people could be like, man, this is another one of those, like, soulless Eminem songs. But I gave it a 2. I enjoy, his flow on it, the attitude of it. And lastly is Session 1, featuring Slaughterhouse, sans Joe Budden, though it feels like most of Slaughterhouse is sans Joe Budden. So it's just Slaughterhouse and Eminem on Session 1. You know what to expect. It's great rapping. Their flow is immaculate. They're the greatest wordsmiths in the game, probably. So out of all that, Recovery could have gotten 38 points, and it got 32, giving it a score of 84. Placing it in 4th place. Now, next up is, where is it at on my list? Here we go. Next up is 2018's Kamikaze. I think it's M's 3rd best album, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but go fuck yourselves. So, number 1, the first song, Ringa. It's a great way to open the album. I feel like Em tried to do it again with Premonition on Music to Be Motored By, but on Ringo he had more of that anger, and he goes on for like 6 minutes, no chorus, just straight rapping, and you can really tell he's getting some shit off his chest, and I really like it as an intro, it is a song. I listen to it way more than the majority of the time. Probably almost every time it comes on, I listen to it. Next up is Greatest, where, I'll be honest, first time I heard it, I was kind of iffy on it because of the chorus, but I feel like it has wormed its way into my heart, especially how Eminem is rapping on it. And it's just, with Ringo and Greatest, it's a 1-2 punch of like, hey, I'm still, the best wordsmith around, and no one's going to take that from me. Next up is Lucky You featuring Joyner Lucas. Not my favorite song on the album, but maybe my second favorite song on the album. And it's just another one of those where Eminem is showing that he's, the greatest rapper of all time. And Joyner Lucas is doing a great job of keeping up. And Eminem redoing the Joyner Lucas intro for his verse as well, I really like, and changing it up a bit. It's kind of like showing you where Joyner's at and where M's at, and M used to be there and now he's here, and it's, I like it a lot. Next up is Normal. I don't like Normal that much. I gave it a 1. It's on the playlist. I'd probably skip it 2/3 of the time. I don't know. It's one of those relationship songs. It's kind of funny, and it's not about Kim, but it's, it's in that same vein, and I don't really enjoy those as much from M, so I gave it a 1. Next up is Stepping Stone. I also gave it a 1. I feel like it's a good song, and I think it gets a 1 because of where the album that it's on. It does not fit this album. It's maybe one of only 2 songs on the album that don't fit the album. Like, the other ones are clearly in the same vein, but just for some reason, Stepping Stone, although it's a great storytelling song, it doesn't fit the album, and I think that's why I gave it a 1. And next up is Not Alike, featuring Royce da 5'9". When these two get on a song, it's always fire. It's awesome. Some of the best lyricists in the game. And it's where Eminem took his first shots at Machine Gun Kelly, which led to Kill Shot and all the funny Machine Gun Kelly disses in Music to Be Motored By. So for that alone, it should get a 2. But since it's also a great song, I gave it a 2 as well. Next up is Kamikaze. I can see why some people might not like it because of him, the whole fact parts in it. It's where he keeps repeating it, and the chorus and stuff, but I enjoy those. I think it's tongue-in-cheek, making fun of people, and he brings a great flow, and it really goes well into the next song, Fall, which is my favorite song on the album, and maybe one of my favorite, top 10 Eminem songs of all time. I really like Fall. He's getting at everybody who's talked shit about him, and really no one's responded to it, lyrically. They're just going to sit there and take it, and I think that still shows why he's the greatest of all time. No one is going to go at him to actually try to, take him down, because, when Machine Gun Kelly does it, it's for clout, obviously, and when Nick Cannon's doing it now, it's for clout, obviously, and they're not going to, they don't have anything to lose. They don't have respect to lose. And I don't think anybody with respect to lose is going to risk that going with EM. And Fall really shows that, and I enjoy that, and he gets a 2 for that. Next up is Nice Guy. I think this one, along with Stepping Stone, are the 2 that don't fit on this album. I gave Nice Guy a 1 because I might listen to it every now and then, and it is on the playlist. But it doesn't fit the album. I like the next song up way better than it. And I don't know why it's even on here, to be honest with you. And the next song is Good Guy, which I gave a 2 to. I feel like Eminem does a better job rapping on this one than he does on Nice Guy. And I guess that alone is why I like it more. And then lastly is Venom, which I also gave a 2. I like the energy on Venom. The movie's not great, but the energy in the song's great. And I don't know, it's Eminem at his best, It's better than his promotional song for that Call of Duty Ghosts game that was on Marshmallow's LP2. What was it called? Survival. That one's not great. Venom, good promotional song for a movie. So there's 22 possible points for Kamikaze, and out of those 22, it got 19, giving it an 86 in total. And with that being said, where's my piece of paper? Kamikaze is third place with an 86. With 22 possible points. I'm going to throw that out there. That might be a spoiler that might come into play in the next video. So, let's just do a recap real quick. Revival's in 10th with 47 points. Encore's in 9th with 79 points. Marshall Mathers LP2 is in 8th with 80 points. Relapse is in 7th with 81 points. Slim Shady LP is in 6th with 82 points and 28 possible points. Music to be Murdered By is in 5th place with an 82 and 34 possible points. Recovery is in 4th place with 84 points. Kamikaze is in 3rd place with 86 points and 22 possible points. So, that wraps up this part 3. Be sure to check out part 4 where I discuss albums 2 and 1. And if you want to, be sure to check out later this week when I just put all the videos into one complete video so you can watch this madness go down all at once if you're into that type of thing. So remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for watching all of this. It means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.